morning, students of standard 9. Today we are going to study topic DNA, RNA, diffusion and osmosis from chapter 1, cell. DNA. It stands for deoxyribose nucleic acid. It transfers characteristics from parents to their offspring. So, students, the full form of DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid, and the main function DNA does is in the transfer of characteristics from their parents to their offspring. Now, students, we can understand the concept of DNA with the help of this picture. Students, this picture is the diagram, is the picture of DNA. Students, DNA is a double helical structure, so you can notice here the first helix and the second helix. And in between two helixes, there is presence of the nitrogen base, which you can notice in the form of adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. And in the center remains present hydrogen bond, which forms the backbone of the DNA. The following are the parts of DNA: deoxyribose sugar, nitrogen base and phosphate group. Students, DNA has basically three distinct parts. These are deoxyribose sugar, nitrogen base and phosphate group. Now, students, these three important parts of DNA we can understand in a more better way with the help of this picture. Students, here the deoxyribose sugar is represented by the D. So, students, here D stands for deoxyribose sugar, which is a pentose sugar group. Students, the second part of the DNA is the nitrogen base, which you can find in the short form here, where A is representing the adenine, which we have studied earlier in the last slide, in the previous slide, and T represents the thymine, is the short form, G, which is the short form of guanine, and C, which is the short form of cytosine. So, students, adenine is represented by A, thymine, cytosine is represented by C, thymine is represented by T, and guanine is represented by G. So, students, this A, C and G forms the nitrogen base. Students, this all A, T, G and C we can clearly find in the diagram of the DNA. Now students, the third most important part of the DNA is the phosphate group. Now students, here phosphate group is represented by P. So students, in this picture we can easily notice the phosphate group in the form of P. In the first hand is the left hand side also of the DNA and the right hand side also of the DNA. So students, this all three parts taken collectively forms the DNA, and which easily can be located in this picture. Now students, with the help of this also, which is the representation of the different types of parts of DNA, we can also, and with the help of this graphical representation, we can also understand the different parts of the DNA. The deoxyribose sugar is a pentose sugar group. Students, the deoxyribose sugar is a pentose sugar group. So students, in this picture of DNA, we can easily notice the deoxyribose sugar which is here. Now students, this diagram represents in this way because at each of the corners there are presence of carbon atom. So students, in total 5 carbon atoms are present. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Due to the presence of these 5 carbon atoms, it is called as pentose sugar group, and this pentose sugar group is represented as deoxyribose sugar. So students, you can notice here clearly that deoxyribose sugar are present as an important part of the DNA on both the strands of DNA. Phosphate group is a molecule of 4 phosphorus molecules and 1 oxygen atom. Now students, phosphate group is actually a collection of phosphorus molecules and 1 oxygen atom. If we concentrate it in this picture, then we can easily notice the phosphorus group represented as P in the DNA molecule. Now students, this P, that is phosphorus, is actually group of 4 phosphorus molecules and 1 oxygen atom, which we can see here also. Students, the phosphate group is also represented by PO4. Now students, here we can easily notice the 4 oxygen atoms and 1 phosphorus atom. So the phosphate group present in the DNA appears in this way. So students, here we can notice the 4 phosphorus atoms and 1 oxygen atom in the center. So students, it becomes very clear that the molecules of phosphate contains 4 oxygen and 1 phosphorus atom. Nitrogen group is of two types, purine and pyrimidine. Purine, it comprises of adenine and guanine, whereas pyrimidine comprises of cytosine and thymine. Students, purine and pyrimidine are most important part of the DNA, which collectively forms the base pairs. Now students, in this picture of the DNA also we can notice the adenine, the thymine, the guanine and the cytosine, which all together forms the base pair. RNA. RNA stands for ribose nucleic acid. It is single stranded. Students, RNA is also a quite important part of the cell, which stands for ribose nucleic acid. It is a single stranded. Students, the concept of RNA will become more clear when we concentrate in this picture. Students, we can notice here that the RNA present is having only a single strand. So students, you can see a single strand here present. In the RNA, it comprises of three parts: ribose sugar, nitrogen base and phosphate group. So students, the main three parts of the RNA are ribose sugar, nitrogen base and phosphate group. In RNA, uracil is present in nitrogen base. So students, it's one of the important feature of RNA that in RNA, uracil remains present as an integral component of the nitrogen base. Students, even in this picture, if we concentrate, we can clearly see here the presence of uracil. Cytosine, adenine and guanine remains present as usual. RNA is of three types: mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. So students, in total RNA has three types: mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. Students, here M represents messenger RNA, T represents transfer RNA and R represents ribosomal RNA. So students, if we write M RNA here, then the M will represent messenger. If we write T RNA, then T represents transfer RNA, and if we represent R RNA, then students, here R represents ribosomal RNA. rRNA is the most abundant type of RNA. It comprises of 80% of total RNA. So students, rRNA which we know it as the ribosomal RNA, is the most commonly found RNA. Now the percentage in which it is generally found is approximately 80% of the total RNA. So students, we can say that most commonly found RNA among the mRNA, tRNA and rRNA is the ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA. Students, here we can notice the picture of the ribosomal RNA also, which is a single stranded structure. So students, ribosomal RNA, we can clearly notice here, also has been expanded from rRNA to ribosomal RNA. tRNA is a type of RNA which transfer amino acid to the ribosomes. So students, tRNA is the another type of RNA, the main function of which is to carry the amino acid to the ribosome. So students, here we can easily notice the transfer RNA. So students, this is the diagram of the transfer RNA, and we can easily notice here that it is carrying the amino acid at the top, and here the information for the formation of proteins. mRNA is a type of RNA which helps in synthesizing protein. So students, here the mRNA has also been expanded as the messenger RNA, and the main function of which is that it helps in synthesizing protein. Diffusion. It is the process in which molecule tends to move from higher concentration to lower concentration. So students, diffusion is actually the process in which molecules are moving from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. So students, this concept will become more clear if we concentrate on this picture. Students, here we can clearly notice that here the concentration of molecules are more. So that is why here it is mentioned also higher concentration. While on the other side, students, if we notice here, then we notice here that the concentration of molecules are very low. That means very lesser number of molecules remain present here. So students, the molecules has a tendency always to move from the higher concentration to the lower concentration, and this process is called as diffusion. So students, you can clearly notice that the molecules are moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration, and this is what we call it as diffusion. Osmosis. It is a process in which ions, electrons and molecules tends to move from higher concentration to lower concentration in the presence of semi-permeable membrane. So students, osmosis is actually the process in which molecules, electrons or ions tends to move from the higher concentration to the lower concentration Now students, in between the higher concentration and the lower concentration, there remains present the semi-permeable membrane. Now students, in this picture, if you notice, you can easily find here there is a presence of semi-permeable membrane. Now students, this semi-permeable membranes have certain holes in them so that they can allow selective particles to move from higher concentration to lower concentration. So students, here we can easily notice that there is higher concentration. So students, there is a higher concentration of the fluid. So the fluid will tend to move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Whereas if we notice here, then the dot-like structures are highly concentrated. So these dot-like structures which are highly concentrated here tends to move from higher concentration to the lower concentration via the semi-permeable membrane. So students, that is why this process can be called as osmosis. Osmosis is of following types: endoosmosis and exoosmosis. So students, osmosis are generally of two types: endoosmosis and exoosmosis. Students, in the endoosmosis, water enters inside the cell, whereas in the exoosmosis, water exits out the cell. So students, if we concentrate here in this picture, then you can easily understand the concept of endoosmosis, in which the water molecules are moving from outside to the cell. And we know in endoosmosis the water enters inside the cell, and it is clearly visible that the water is entering inside the cell. So students, that is why it should be called as endoosmosis. Now students, in exoosmosis also, we can notice that the water exits outside the cell. So students, here we can notice that the water from the cell is moving out, and that is why it is called as exoosmosis. Now students, let's discuss a very important question. What are various types of solution? Answer: the following are the three types of solution. Isotonic solution. It is the solution in which shape and size of cells remains unchanged. Whereas hypertonic solution, in this solution, when a cell is kept, it shrinks. Hypotonic solution, in this solution, cell size gets increased. Thank you, students.